Welcome back to the Sight Mentality Podcast with your host, Travis.
And Ted.
Today we're here to talk to you all things fitness, mentality in fitness.
Mentality fitness.
Mental fitness.
Welcome back
to the Summit Mentality Podcast.
Bush. So, we've got a pretty fat year this year.
We do have a fat year.
I think we should probably go straight into it. The big one is your attempt.
Yours is just as big, mate. But we'll say we've got... This year is like the first year where we're doing separate things, but helping each other within the things.
I know, normally we do everything together.
Yeah.
But this time...
We're flying solo. Yeah.
Departing the nest. So, April 6th. Let's before we say the announcement.
We'll rewind it.
Yeah, we'll rewind it. So what's this new sport that you're kind of getting into?
The new sport I'm getting into is it's called Hyrox. If you don't know what Hyrox is, we brought a podcast out probably 2 podcasts ago, which was last April that we brought the podcast out in.
Don't know if we uploaded it.
No, probably not. But last April I done my first ever Hyrox. Hyrox is now like booming, so if you haven't heard of it, you need to get to know it because it's everywhere now. But it's basically 8-kilometer run. After each 1K, you'll do like a functional fitness exercise. So you do like the ski erg, you do some rowing, sled push, pull, burpees, farmers, lunges, wall balls, burpees. As you can tell, I've done loads of them, so I can remember them. But yeah, that's my like new sport. Boxing's a no-go anymore. Decided to scrap that one and move on, which doesn't sound great. I more got rid of it because getting hit in the head is good for a certain amount of time. When you get a dent in your head, your mentality changes. Pun intended.
But I could tell though that you weren't like loving boxing as much. And
no.
Then you're always searching for something to push yourself that you enjoyed.
Yeah.
And then Hyrox came along and you just dialed in.
The thing is, Hyrox is so new and it's still such a growing sport. It's been around maybe 2-3 years maximum. So it's such a growing sport, and you've got the pros, you've got the people who are really good at it, you've got your coaches. It's starting to piece together nicely, but now it's like, how far can you push with it? Can you get the fastest time? Can you find a doubles partner who suits you like to a T? It's so challenging for the everyday person. It's fun for anyone. That's what's so good about it. So yeah, I got into it last year, went to the World Championships, done another 2 last year. So I've done 4 last year, and so far we're only in March, and I've done 2 this year.
Big stuff.
Yeah, big sweat. It's an expensive sport. Don't get me wrong. It's a very expensive sport. But I've been lucky enough to get gifted by Hyrox to help me with the challenge that's going on April 6th. Shall I just go out and say?
Yeah, what are you doing on April 6th?
So, let me get comfy. April 6th.
The big announcement.
So, on April 6th, myself and Callum Bratt, we're doing 12 Hyroxes in 24 hours. So, it means that we're going to be doing 1 Hyrox every 2 hours, continuously, for 24 hours. We're doing it at the gym I work at, Unique Gym, Saffron Walden. We're doing it for Macmillan Cancer. And, yeah, all in all, it's just a big challenge that... One day I thought, how far can I push? I literally done my first Hyrox. And then I went, how far can I push this sport like we always do? And yeah, decided to turn it into an ultra marathon, go for 12 and 24 hours and see if it breaks me.
We've always had some weird connection with the 24-hour events, haven't we?
We have. I think it goes back to Snowden. It definitely goes back to Snowden. There's something about... we were saying this yesterday. Mm-hmm. What it is, it's not the fact of running fast that excites me. It's the bit that excites me where it's, can I go for a certain period of time mentally without cracking?
Yeah, that's true. Like when you go to the dark bits when it really hurts.
Yeah,
your mind's giving up.
It sounds.
You see if you can go through.
Yeah, like it sounds crazy to say. I like the fact that I know I can run a certain distance. I like the fact I know I can run a certain amount of time. But it's how much time can I run for until I break. Mm-hmm. I think that's where all ultramarathon runners are tapped in that sense, where it's not a case of you can run a half marathon in an hour. No, like I don't really care about that. For Hyrox, I will care about it. But when it comes to the ultramarathons, it's can I run for 24 hours without cracking mentally? Or if I do crack, can I then come back?
Yeah. It's seeing what you're made of, really.
Yeah, that's
because at the end of the day, with sports, you can be genetically gifted, you can be super fit and put the training in, but if you don't train your mind, you're just going to be a faster and stronger quitter. It's learning to not quit when it gets tough.
Yeah.
Which I think we've both realised has then bled into your normal day-to-day life as well.
Yeah. Like, this year we had the Summit Mentality film come out. Obviously, everyone's been watching that and saying stuff to us about that. But when we watch that back, we've grown so much. We're different men.
Yeah. It's not us anymore.
No, we filmed it 2 years ago.
It is cool to see how far we've come, though. Because watching that documentary and seeing how we talk, I know we talk so differently about things now. We have different views, different opinions. Everything in it, I still believe.
Yeah.
But we've just tried and tested the things that we'd said in the film and actually seen the results from it.
Yeah, and we've sort of grown on those opinions as well.
Yeah.
Because I remember Ollie when he wanted to start advertising the film, and last year when we had the first initial screening, and he sort of said, like, since that day, I've done another 4 ultra marathons from the filming to the first screening, and that was last year. I've probably done another 6 since then.
Yeah.
So I'm now hitting like double digits of ultra marathons.
Yeah.
After Snowdon, I never thought I would run again.
I quit ultra running halfway down that mountain. Yeah, and then
The first or the second time?
both times.
Oh, mate.
Get that down, and then it's like, nah, I'm done. I'm definitely going again.
Which is mad because Snowdon as a loop is 15k, so it's not an ultra marathon just doing one loop. But the minute you do 3 loops and you come back down from that third, you know you're in ultra marathon territory. So when you go for that 4th, that's when it's like, right, now it's Pain Cave, now it's real.
It's serious.
Yeah,
serious
yeah.
business. We've got quite a lot of people coming to Snowdon 24 this year.
We do, which is very exciting because I think it's what we tell everyone. It's a very good ultra to do as your first one. Because again, 1 lap is 15k. If you do 3 laps, technically that's 45k. That's technically an ultra marathon. It does get a little bit longer than 45k, obviously, but it's all up to you how many laps you do. And if you do it so where we do it as a team of 3, obviously one of us is on the mountain the entire time. But if you do it in a pair and you both sign up as solos, you can literally do it together.
Yeah, which is a nice thing.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it all.
One of the cool things I enjoy about when we do the ultras together is that me and you have like learnt what each other like to chat about and waffle on about when we're pain caving together. We'll both be in hell, but we can laugh through it and you can go through it. When you're doing an ultra completely by yourself, it's scary. It gets a bit
solitary.
Yeah, it's so lonely. And I think so it depends what you want to do, really. You might want that. You might want to go solo, go dark, go deep and deal with your demons, or deal with your demons with friend.
Start chatting waffle when you're at the top of a mountain.
We chat so much shit.
It's great fun.
It is great fun, to be fair.
I think we talk about anything and everything because we want our minds to keep ticking over.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But speaking of ultra marathons, it's your turn.
Yeah. So September 21st or 22nd, I can't remember the exact date, but it's a Saturday. I'm taking part in the Robin Hood 100 in Nottinghamshire, Sherwood Forest. So 100 miles.
Is that a hilly?
It's like rolling hills, but the elevation's not. They were like, it's a pretty flat course.
Okay.
It's classed as a fast 100.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
So I think route record's like 15 and a half hours. Which
rapid, mate.
Yeah, which we're not going to go for, to be fair.
Jesus.
So yeah, 100 miles. I've always wanted to do 100 miles from the get-go. Weirdly enough, I knew when I signed up for my first marathon in 2019, which was my first ever event, the goal had always been to do a 100-mile race, and that has always just stuck in my head. I need to do the 100 miles.
Why?
So, as I've said, like a broken record, I read the David Goggins Can't Hurt Me, and his whole thing is about going through the pain, going through the suck, and then that's when your demons come out and get loud, and then you can deal with them, because if your demons are hidden away, you can't deal with them, can you? But if they're out shouting in your face, which they do when you're tired and broken, you have to deal with them. And I think 100 miles is just in my head. I don't know exactly what the calling is. I go on runs and I think, why do I do this? And to be fair, I couldn't give you a great solid answer. But what I do know is that when I do these races, which have never been 100 miles, when I get back, the coffee's a little bit warmer, the trees are a little bit greener, the wind sounds nicer. Life just becomes a bit more pleasant because you've overcome something in yourself and you feel a lot more confident. And I think the 100 miles has just always had that like esteem on it. There's just something about you going into the triple digits and it's just that big fat number, 100 miles. And no one's ever come out of a 100-mile race and gone, that was easy. Everyone breaks.
Yeah.
Even if you're a professional and you're pro and you've done it loads of times, you watch the videos and they are broken. And there's something about breaking myself and just seeing if I can get through it that just excites me. And I think the 100 miles is a good place for that.
Is the one that's going to break you and make you.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I started telling people about this Hyrox idea, the first question is never, that's so cool. It's like, why?
Yeah.
I honestly, the maddest thing is I don't have, there's no reason I can think of that sounds not good, but normal.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Everyone's expecting me to say something, you know? Like, why do you do it? It's a question you always ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why would I want to do it? And I've never found, like you said, I've never found a solid answer as to why I'm doing it. You hear people say they're doing it for charity, they're doing it, obviously I'm doing it for charity, but the sole reason wasn't to do this to raise money for charity.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't sound bad.
No, but it's true. Like, even if you do a marathon, you're not there just doing a marathon to raise money for charity. You could do a skydive. But
I could do something so much easier.
But you know what I mean? There's a reason you want to do it.
Yeah.
But
so I don't know why I want to do it. I think the only reason why I want to do it is to prove to myself and other people that I can. It's sort of like going against what the naysayers say. Going in with there will be one person out there out of the, let's say 1 out of 10 is going to say you can't do it. It's that one person I want to prove wrong. The other 9 people who believe that I can,
you're like, thanks, man.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
They're like sort of, I just don't remember them. The one person that says you can't do it, that's the one person I want to prove wrong. And I think that's what I do it for, is when I say I'm going to do something and a million people can say, oh, that's so good, like, I think you can do it. If there's one person who says I can't, you're the
really
reason
want
why
to
I'm
do
doing
it.
it. You are the reason why I'm doing
Yeah.
it, just because you're saying that I can't.
It's true. I think there's always meant to be this like one. Everyone wants that solid answer, that one liner. Why are you doing it? But I think it's not. There was never a moment where it flicks in your brain. You're like, this is what I want to do. It's like a culmination of months, years of like things happening that just guide you towards that. And at the moment, I've got this quote by JFK ringing through my head when he's talking about why America should go to the moon. And he said, we don't do it because it's easy. We do it because it's hard.
Yeah.
And I think that's so true.
That's
we
it.
only do it because it's hard. Why
Yeah.
climb the highest mountain? Why swim around the UK if you're Ross Edgley? Purely because it's there to do and it's hard.
Yeah. I think what's cool about this Hyrox thing is I've done events that people have done before. This Hyrox thing's never been done before. I think that's what's really enticing me even more, because there will be more people saying I can't do it. And I'm not going to lie, back when I was at school, I probably would have said, oh, he's not going to do that. Whether it was me or someone else, there's like, everyone's going to say, you're not going to do that. There's no way that you're going to complete that, which makes me want to do it even more. I think that is what, now I'm speaking about, I think that's what it is. It's not, it's proving to myself that yes, I'm going to be able to do it and I can do it. And you've got to have full 100% belief that you can do it. I think it's the belief that someone else doesn't have for me to be able to go and complete it. That's what I'm doing it for.
You're here to prove people wrong.
Yeah, I'm here to prove to everyone that when you say you can do something, you can do it.
Yeah. And I think that's such an important thing to spread, because so many people are completely paralyzed by their fear of, or the idea that they just can't do something. But you literally cannot know for sure if you can't do something unless you fully go for it.
Yeah, we're all capable of so much.
Yeah, we are.
So
So
much.
true.
And people look at like people like us, and they'll listen to this and they'll watch it and they'll think, oh, there's no, like, they're talking about 100 miles, they're talking about doing I can't do that.
Yeah.
Why can't you do it?
If one person can do it, so can you.
Yeah, like we grew up in sport. Like you grew up doing certain sports, I grew up doing certain other sports. You grow up in these lanes and these paths, but I never once thought I was going to be a runner.
Yeah.
That never crossed my mind up until a moment where you put something on your Instagram story and I was like, yeah, I'm going to try it. I think that's all it takes. The first leap is to try something. And if you try it and it clicks with you, or you try it and you feel like, yeah, I can grow in this, that's the sign that you then need to pursue it.
Yeah.
There have been so many times where I would have tried something, been like, not for me. Tried it one more time, clicks. That's now what I want to try and pursue. I think that's so important, is you go out, try new things. When it clicks, that's when you stick to it and you pursue it. But there's so many people out there that just don't ever want to take that first step and even trying something, when they can just turn around and say, nah, not for me, don't like the look of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Once you try one thing and you don't like it, it's easier to try something else. It's you've just got to not be scared of being shit at something to start. Because when you first start anything, you're going to be one of the worst in the world at it. That's just the rules, right? But if you can get over that and realise that if you just put a little bit of dedication in, you will quickly get better.
Yeah.
And even if you don't like it, let's say, for example, you do try running after this. You listen to this and go, I'll try running. And you do it for a couple of weeks and you don't really like it. It's not for you. But it might plant a seed for something else. We have people who come to a run club. They come for a month, never come again. But it started their journey to start going to the gym because they realised they preferred lifting weights.
Yeah.
So if you're trying things, it will open up pathways for other things as well. So it's just getting over that initial barrier and trying something.
Yeah, what you said about like not everyone starts off the best. I think that's so important to remember. Usain Bolt never ran 9 seconds straight away.
No.
That's the thing. Like, you will start off shit. It's the journey you take to turn yourself into someone who isn't going to be shit again. But I think that's why there's so much comparison in the world, on social media, in person, when you go to a race. That comparison can lead to two different things. It could be really, really bad and damaging for someone, or it can really fuel you. And you always want to take it as the fuel. You never want to take it as the bad aspects that it comes with. I'm constantly comparing myself to others.
Yeah.
Constantly. Everyone does it. But it's, how do I compare myself to make myself better?
Yeah, you've got to be better than you were yesterday.
I think that's what it really leads to. But you have got to remember that everyone starts from somewhere. You will start from rock bottom. You might come into it a little bit better than your friend does if you start at the same time, but that's just how certain things work. He could come in better than you at something else. But it's, what are you going to learn? What are you going to grow? How are you going to grow to the next level for you to keep pursuing this thing? And I think people need to remember that. And I think that's so important when it comes to literally anything in life. It could be painting, it could be sport. It doesn't have to be sport. It could literally be any music.
I think there's a good saying. It's like, men don't decide to be extraordinary. They just decide to do extraordinary things.
Yeah.
And I think you don't have to be amazing at something to actually do something amazing. And it doesn't have to be amazing to someone else, but it can be amazing to you. It can be a big leap. Like, think about how many people have houses that are really untidy, and it seems like a massive task just to get it tidied. You get it tidied. That's an amazing thing for you. You've taken a huge leap forward in your life and you've got better at something. So it isn't just the sports. Obviously, that's the route we like to take, and I'd recommend it to anyone because it does physically hurt and it's just good for you.
Yeah.
Physical fitness. But it's just doing things better than you were yesterday. And what am I trying to say? Sorry, steal my thunder, please. I forgot what I was saying.
I've got a question. It just popped up in my head.
Yeah.
I was watching, it was something on TikTok or Instagram or something, and it was an interview with Piers Morgan and someone else. Can't remember who the guy was, but I have seen his face before. And I think Piers Morgan said, what should come first? Should it be the physical or the mental? I can't remember how the question went, but do you think that that taking physical action is more important than taking mental action. What comes first? If you don't get my question, I'll answer.
I don't really understand. Answer,
So-
and then I'll do my take on it. That'll
So
give me
basically,
more
Piers
context.
Morgan, he literally went to this guy. He said, "What should be taken first? Should it be the physical action or should it be the mental action?" And the guy replied saying, "Physical action should be taken first." And he said that for a very good point, and Piers Morgan was obviously against him.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Piers Morgan basically turned around and said, "There's so many gym bunnies out there who go in, film themselves, lift a few weights, and they don't grow or learn from anything." Whereas the other guy said, physical action should be taken first, because the minute you take that first step into doing something physical, you realise how hard it actually is.
Yeah.
That's when you then grow mentally. You get more mental clarity from taking a physical action on than trying to better your mental, because your physical will then help better the mental.
Yeah, it's like if you're about to go in freezing cold water for the first time, if you're just trying to go with mental, you're trying to psych yourself up and get ready, but the water doesn't get warmer the longer you wait.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I can't remember the quote this guy used. Oh, it's going to really annoy me. I'm going to have to find it.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, it will.
But yeah, if you let your mind just completely be ignored and you just jump in the cold water straight away, that's your physical action, and then you deal with it mentally then.
Yeah.
And then next time you know what it's going to feel like. It's going to be 1% easier to get in.
Can I borrow your phone to go on TikTok and try and find this thing?
Yeah, of
It's going
course.
to really bug me.
Of
It's going to
course.
really bug
I think
I can't remember the guy's name, but it was an interview with Piers Morgan. It was so good. It was one of those things where at first you sort of agree with Piers Morgan when he said the mental, but then when this guy
Cancelled.
started talking, oh come on! but when this guy started talking, you were like, oh, actually no, I now get the question.
There you go.
Go on. You waffle on for a little minute.
Yeah, I think kind of, well, on a similar note, I think we all to some degree have a duty to have to try and do good things. Things that are good for us lead to being better for other people and the people around you, because you're now a stronger person. And we live a very complex life. Everyone's life's hard. There's a million different things you've got to deal with.
I've got it.
Go for it. Go for it. Just cut off my speech if you want, mate.
Sorry.
Issue in the world right now. Mental strength or physical strength? Physical strength. Mental strength is downstream from it. I think mental strength is the number one issue in the world right now. I think we need to make our young people mentally stronger. I think that most people are neither. I think that most people have atrophied physically and mentally. Trying to think your way out of overthinking is like trying to sniff your way out of a cocaine addiction. And you can't really change the mind with the mind. You have to change it with the body first. So going for a walk will do way more for your mood than sitting and thinking about and vacillating about whatever's dealing with you. If I had the choice between a good night's sleep or a hard training session, I would go to the gym, because the difference in my mood before and after the gym is way more than before and after a night's sleep. So I don't disagree. The two work simpatico together, but for me, if you do not have a physical practice of some kind and you're struggling with mental health, you need to look at the physical side before you look at the mental side. The mental strength.
That's a good point. And then the question is what is the definition of mental strength?
Yeah, true.
What does that mean? What does mental strength mean to you?
I think for me, it's so different to what other people. This is pure opinion. Pure opinion. Before anyone says anything bad, it's pure opinion. Mental strength for me is to tell myself to keep going and keep driving forward. I think that's what because I always link mine back to what I do day to day, and that's always sports, fitness, make sure I'm positive for other people around me.
Yeah.
So it's always that part of driving forward and making myself better every day is the mental strength that I want to gain. And I think, again, the only way I can gain that is from spreading positive messages, being myself, and not... I used to shy away from a lot of situations. I used to shy away from a lot of people and never wanted to put myself out there as anything, really. So I think mental strength for me now is putting myself into those situations where I can learn and grow.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way for it, for me, personally.
I think, that's like mental strength for me, I think, isn't the idea that we no longer feel bad emotions. We still feel bad emotions. We still have days where we feel shit, but we're willing to face that and still do what we need to do that day. Like before I started running and doing anything, if I had a day of anxiety, a day of sadness where I felt shit, I wouldn't gym. I probably wouldn't work as hard. But now I will have those days where I still feel the same, still feel shit, unmotivated, but I can still put the reps in. I still go to the gym. I still do the work. I do what needs to be done. And then if you can do that, you've got a great foundation to then start dealing with the reasons why you're feeling sad and why you're feeling anxious. Because if you let your mind control your actions, then you have no control over the direction of your life. Because you're now just a wind, like a feather in the wind of life.
Yeah.
Like happy place to sad place, happy place to sad place. But if you can move forward even through hell when everything's going wrong, that's mental strength. Even if inside you still feel tragic, you still feel shit, but you do it anyway, that is mental strength.
Yeah.
For me, that's how I see it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's so opinionated with what mental strength is for you.
Yeah.
That everyone's going to have a different answer. And I think that's what's good about it is, obviously, we're all different.
Mm-hmm.
We all think different. We all do different things. I think that's the beauty of conquering your own mind in your own aspects.
Yeah.
Some people have got something different to what I've got. We're different people. They're like, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So if you can do what we've just done and think what is mental strength to me, that's when you can then start to grow and learn from it.
Yeah, set your own targets.
Yeah.
Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? How do you want to feel? And aim towards that.
Yeah.
I also think that there was a exercise I saw that I tried in my journal the other day, which is actually really good. Is you put your life into sections. You realise your business, your career, your relationships, maybe your partner, who do you want to be with, who kids want, what do you want to do outside of work that's still beneficial and meaningful to you. You write it down, you design it. You can see what an ideal life will look like for you in 5 years' time. Then the next part of the exercise is to write down all of the things that would happen if you didn't strive for greatness. So like, say for example, everyone will crumble in a different way. You know what your temptations are and what your insecurities are. I know what my temptations are and my insecurities are. And you write down what your life would look like if you just gave in to all of your temptations, you gave in to all of your insecurities. Now you have a picture of what your life would look like if you did try your best and you tried to be on like a righteous path. And you have a picture of your life of what would happen if you just gave in to everything. You gave up and you just stopped. And then you have the motivation of what your life would be like if you try hard. So now you're pulling towards a better life. And then you're also using your insecurities and your temptations as fuel to run away from. So you're in like this, you're like a surfer on a wave. You're getting pulled forward by the air and you're getting pushed by the wave. Because you're now using your insecurities as something to run away from.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a good technique to like see your life. You need to be very analytical on where you've done well and where you've gone wrong. And you need to be honest with yourself. What are your weaknesses and what are your strengths? Work on your strengths and work on your weaknesses.
I think with that as well, it's a lot of people don't see their strengths.
Mm-hmm.
More people see their weaknesses.
Yeah.
So if you're in an interview and you get asked, what are your strengths? You'll just say, confidence. I'm good at communication. Are you?
Some standard shit.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. It's if you can nail down what your strengths are, but if someone asks you, like if I say, what are your strengths? Guarantee the majority they're like, what are my strengths?
When we have so many.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So I think the first thing for me is always thinking positive instead of going straight into that negative thought of like, oh, well, I'm actually not good at communication. I'm not really confident. Because that's the first thing you'll think of.
Yeah.
It'll go, what are your strengths? Oh, I'm not confident. I'm not good at communicating. I'm not a good team player. That's the first thing that people go to. So if you instantly think, oh, I'm actually good at this. I'm actually good at this. I think that's the way that you've got to go and direct yourself first before you start thinking negative. But if you do jump straight into that negative thought, stop thinking. Go back to the question.
That's so
and
true.
then try again.
What are you good at? Not
Yeah.
They didn't ask you what are you
No,
bad at.
because that's not the question.
Yeah.
The question isn't what are you bad at. If I ask you that question, you could probably nail off 20 things straight away.
Yeah, that's
that
so
wasn't
true.
the question. The question was, what are you good at?
Yeah, that's true. And just remind yourself of the question.
Yeah.
Stop thinking. Go back to square one. Remind
That's
yourself
it.
of the question. Task
But that's
it out.
what so many people do. That could come with anything.
Happens to
Literally,
all of us though. To
yeah,
be
it
fair, we
does.
do it. It's natural. We've
It's
gotta
that's just a
learn how
natural
to-
human way, and I don't know if that. I think that's so typical with our generation, especially. It's the only generation I know.
Yeah,
But,
which is fair.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that is the one that, like, we all do. We all look at social media. It's a blessing and a curse, that platform. It is. But we always go and look at someone else and say, oh, actually, compared to them, I'm not good at communicating. But that's not the question. The question isn't, are you, compared to these people, how do you pan up? The question was, what are you good at? Believe in what you're good at, work on those strengths even more, and then analyse your weaknesses once you know your strengths. Because if I go, I know in certain situations I can be quite confident. So if you put me in two separate situations, when it's one in front of a group, not overly confident, but it's one-to-one, I'm extremely confident. I know I could keep a conversation going. Now, with that knowledge of me being good in a one-to-one conversation, how can I now twist it to gain confidence in a group environment? That's what you then look at. So I know I'm good at one thing and I could work on another. How am I going to help the other one by using the more, by using the strength to help the weakness?
Yeah, like a good example of what you just said, where you're good at talking one-to-one, but maybe not in a group setting. But you know you're good at speaking one-to-one. So when you're talking to a group, just talk to one person for a second.
Yeah.
You're directing the conversation to one person. You look them in the eyes and you speak. It's a really good trick for public speaking, actually. If you're on stage, forget about the 200 people in the room. Speak to one person. Look at them. And then you also get feedback from them, their reaction, right? You've said that thing to them. Move to the next person. Talk to them. And then you're not darting your eyes around, so you look confident because you're actually looking someone in the eye. They'll give you feedback on how you're doing with their facial expressions. Then that makes you a better public speaker. So you've used your strength of being able to talk to an individual and just applied it to a bigger group of people.
And then the best thing about all of that is I searched for the answer, said it out loud, got it.
Yeah, boom.
There you go.
Easy.
I think I've started doing that a lot more because I read that the Atomic Habits the book that you got me.
Oh yeah.
I read that, and that was one of the things where it wasn't linked to you as an individual in terms of what you're good at and all that. That was just an example.
Yeah.
It was linked to what are the habits you want to take on, but what are the habits that you're in at the moment. How are you going to replace the bad habit for a good one? So, for example, I think he said about smoking. Every time every time his dad got in the car, he would light a cigarette just because that was the habit that he had and he kept on going to. But he knew that was bad. So he swapped out the cigarettes and put in mints or something like that. So every time he got in the car, instead of picking up a cigarette, he picked up a mint.
Okay.
So he swapped it. So he took the bad, swapped it for something better or good.
Yeah.
That's now the strength. So he knew his weakness. He knew the strength he needed, put the strength in. Now he's stronger with it.
Oh, so you're still doing the habit.
Yeah.
You've just adapted.
The habit. So another example is, if I keep with I know I'm not confident in a group environment.
Yeah.
But I know I'm a very good team player. How am I going to have the team player aspect and turn the not so confident in the group into a strength?
By using the team
player skill.
Okay.
So now I'm good with a team player skill. When the group leader, whoever it may be, asks me to do something, yes, I'll do it. Whether it's my strength or weakness, whatever they ask, yes, I'll do it. But I know that I can put my all into something in a group environment. That's my strength.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that strength within that environment. You can link it to anything.
So it's almost like if you're in a situation that you're not good at, you look through your armory of strengths and you pick one and just dial in on that.
Yeah, but
okay.
If someone asks you a question and you instantly go, oh, I'm not good at that, then you're just going to shut down. You're not going to do anything you can to be good at it.
Yeah.
But if you don't think like that, if you ask me a question of, I'm dyslexic, if you say, can you spell this? Probably not, but I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah,
I'm going to give it a good go because I'm very good at guessing.
Yeah, and Google.
I'm good with use my strength. My strength would be I'm good at thinking on the spot and coming over like little adversaries and trying to think. So I'm good at that. So the minute you ask me that, I'll go, right. So now I'm in thinking mode. I'm not thinking, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. No, I'm thinking, By the time I get to whatever letter it may be, you'll go, oh yeah, got it. And I'm like, yeah, because I knew how to spell that. I use the strength of guessing the knowledge that I already had, and then it turned into you getting anyways. It's sort of like that.
Got to know your strength.
Yeah, you've got to know your strengths before you kick into the weakness.
That's true. That's true. You've got to work on them.
Yeah. we've gone well off topic of the first whole announcement stuff, but that's fine.
but
I quite
nice.
liked it.
There we go.
I don't know how long we've been filming for either,
No idea.
but it's been a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed that one. We keep it short and sweet, I
We
think.
keep it short.
We'll keep
Sweet.
short.
We'll keep it there.
Before we start rambling on about random stuff.
Yeah. Let's just redo your final announcement for
Okay.
April 6th.
Okay. We could do some quick fire questions as well
Yes.
about it if you want. That
Yeah.
might be quite helpful. I could do some for your 100 miler if you want.
Yeah, lovely. Lovely, lovely.
But yeah, anyway, right, so I'll sit up again. On the 6th of April 2024, myself and Callum Bratt are going to be taking on 12 Hyroxes in 24 hours. So that means that we're going to be doing one Hyrox every 2 hours for 24 hours. We're going to start on April 6th, finish on April 7th, which is also Callum's birthday. So it kind of worked out quite nice. We're doing this for Macmillan Cancer Trust. We're going to be raising money during the time. We're also going to make a little bit of an event out of it. We've got some sponsors and some companies involved, which is really cool. It's going to be at Unique Gym in Saffron Walden, starting around midday. So if you do want to pop by, come and pop by and say hi. I might not be speaking by the time you pop by, but I'm sure someone there will be speaking. But
I'll be able to chat your ear off.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there. So.
there you go. It'll be a cool event. I want to make a big event out of it, raising money for charity, having some other bits and pieces going on around while I'm also pain caving through 12 Hyroxes. But it will be a good day to come watch and a good day to come support and raise some money for charity as well.
So, how many kilometres will you be running overall?
So we worked out, including like all of the Hyroxy bits, it will be about 10k per Hyrox.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing 120 kilometres,
Nice.
not just of running. I think it's about 96 kilometres of running,
96 works out, yeah.
and then 24 kilometres of doing everything else.
And then what? So that then it'll be 12 kilometres of ski,
Yeah,
12 kilometres of rowing.
Rowing, yeah.
Yeah, all that
Yeah,
good
yeah.
stuff.
1,200 wall balls.
I'm going to come in and pace you a little bit.
You are,
Yeah.
as long as the knee's better,
Yeah,
mate.
if this knee holds up. I got carried away at track last night, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we also need judges for the event. So if you want to come judge at Hyrox,
You
hit
need
me up.
judges.
Yeah, I can't count 100 wall balls.
What, do you
1,200
need
times.
judges to like confirm you did it? Or just
Yeah,
to
like
make sure you-
distances, make sure they're actually like doing the proper
Okay,
reps. Like we
yeah,
want
yeah.
this to be official. We want this to be like, this is a world record in Hyrox's eyes, not Guinness's eyes, but that's okay. I don't mind
Yeah.
that. Like in Hyrox's eyes, this is a world record. No one's done this before. It's the first time it's ever even been thought of.
Yeah.
So we want to do it properly and make sure that we are actually doing it properly. We don't want to take like the piss out of this. We really want to
Do it properly.
do
Yeah,
it properly.
good
So if people want to no rep us. I might be annoyed at you, but
man. Be thankful.
I will be thankful at the end of it. Yeah.
Nice.
So if you do want to judge or come along, drop me a DM or anything, and then we'll sort it out.
And if you're thinking of signing up for Snowden 24, sign up for Snowden 24.
It's a good race. It's a
good.
good race.
Nice.
When it's done, it's a good race. When you're there, it's beautiful. Midway through, it's shit.
And then at the end, you eat pizza.
And then it's even better.
Yeah.
It's even better.
Oh, we've got the new hoodies.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the new hoodies. Can't forget about that.
Summit Mentality, Road, Track and Trail.
Yeah.
And then on the back, should I rep the back?
Yeah, go and rip the back.
Ooh. There you go, look. Back.
So on the back it says Summit Mentality Running Club, Road Track Trail. It comes in 3 different colours: grey, black, or
Green.
like foresty racing green. £40 hoodie, and yeah,
If you use the code Travis10 at the basket, you get 10%. No, you don't really.
you don't get.
You don't get
No,
10%
you don't.
off.
You don't. But yeah, yeah. So
All money goes towards our next challenges and race tickets. So thank you for
it
helping.
does pay for our race tickets. That is where it goes. So
Which is valid, to
Yeah.
be fair, because that's how we stay sane.
yeah, that's true. That's very true. Nice.
But if you want help on any sort of training or mentality within sport, drop us a DM on Summit Mentality Official or me on Travis Owls and Ted on, I always forget your Instagram.
Ted's road to 100 miles.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Sure it is.
I need to make it more simple, really.
Yeah.
But we'll work it out.
But drop us a DM. I'm sure we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
We're nice guys. We'll help you out.
Thank you.
But keep fucking smashing life.
Boom.